It's the weekend. You might be at a bar or celebrating with friends. But all it takes is one photo, frozen in time and space, circulating through cyberspace forever.
The real problem comes because young people believe that the only people who see the material they post on Facebook are their friends.
What happens on the internet stays on the internet. And your digital dirt could come back to haunt you in real life.
You never think about when you're on Facebook that you're looking sometimes at people you don't know very well's profiles, and then you have to remind yourself that people who don't know you very well may be looking at yours as well.
MSU junior Darcy Dittrich knows from experience.
I was an intern and they told me that sometimes they did check out applicants' Facebook pages, and they even warned me a little bit. And that goes along for high schools, companies.
Now she protects her Facebook profile with several privacy settings for her photos and doesn't friend users she doesn't know. Cautious about the potential for others to peep her profile.
People I didn't know were requesting my friendship, and I felt kind of uncomfortable by that. And then also just learning more about how different employers can have access to your profile.
Employers like Liquid Web in Delta Township.
There have been cases where people have submitted resumes that were unsatisfactory, and then we subsequently accessed their Facebook page, and that was also unsatisfactory.
Well, we're here 24/7, even the sales team is.
The web hosting company employs 155 workers, many of whom they've recruited off social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter.
Some of the people just have it wide open.
So what they find on there is fair game.
It isn't necessarily to preclude somebody from employment, but it is to kind of get some supplemental information about that candidate. How does it relate to their job performance? Maybe where have they worked in the past?
So how can users that aren't friends with you on Facebook see your profile, you might ask? Well, if you're in the same city or state network or the same university network, it's possible. And if you let your friends tag you in photos, people you've never even seen before may be able to see you.
If you post a photo and you tag the people in those photos, those people's friends all then have access to all of the photos in a particular album.
While you do retain ownership of the user content you post, even if you deactivate your account, Facebook's terms of service say the company may retain archived copies of your user content. So how can you clean up your digital dirt?
You can restrict access to your friends only for some parts of your profile. And don't feel shy about asking somebody to remove a photo if you think it's not appropriate.
And there's actually also a feature where you can type in the name of a friend, and then it shows you how they can view your profile.
You can also block specific users from seeing your profile, but at the top of the rule book for Facebook,
pretend that everything you put on Facebook can be seen by everybody.
I always try to keep things that I wouldn't want anyone to see off there.
As more and more individuals put their information on social networking sites like Flickr and Facebook and Twitter, that information will be leveraged.
So be diligent at making sure no one can dig up any dirt on you. In Lansing, Tiffany Teasley, News 10.
Trees lifted up out of the ground, toppled over, but as you can see here, picking up the pieces is the least of their worries. It might not look like it, but the owner of this camper is lucky.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say right now. Seriously, I feel nauseous.
She and her children narrowly avoided death Friday when this tree was sucked out by its roots and flung onto her trailer at Lansing's Cottonwood Campground. They were trapped inside the camper when it happened.
The storm hit, and within seconds, the tree came down. We were in there.
We were crying. We were scared to death.
It just came so fast.
It came fast and lasted minutes at most, but the devastation in South Lansing is widespread. This campground now a jungle of debris. Down the street, utility poles and streetlights snapped in half like twigs. Witnesses to the madness watching in awe as crews pick up the pieces.
I was shaking. I was literally, shaking.
Deborah White was stuck in her car when the storms barreled through the Jolly and Dunkel intersection.
You feel the weightlessness of yourself, the vehicle being moved. It's just amazing the power.
Back at Cottonwood, campers are calling it a miracle that no one got hurt in this unforgiving storm. It's a bit of silver lining on a day when many don't see the light. In Lansing, Lauren Zakalik, Fox 47 News.
Nearly 20 burglaries in 2 weeks.
It's just been scary with other robberies around here.
The thief breaks in the same way, then disappears into the night.
The robbers threw a big boulder through the door. Last we knew when we got robbed, we were number 18.
But now police are adding 2 more businesses to the long list of break-ins after they caught a suspect red-handed after another smash in Okemos.
They came upon a subject carrying what appeared to be stolen property and told him to stop, and he fled.
The owner of this pizza place on Grand River says his alarm went off early this morning, and by the time police got here, they discovered not only this business had been burglarized, the thief also smashed the glass and broke into this business right across the street, and soon after, cops cuffed the criminal.
We were able to locate him nearby, and after some struggle, they took him into custody.
Meridian Township Police call the suspect in the recent burglaries a person of interest in the string of break-ins in the area, but stopped short of saying why.
So we're not saying at this point that we've cleared up all these other cases. We're hopefully, optimistic that that's the case, but we're still making connections and still investigating.
Still, it brings a bit of comfort for people like Jody Chapman.
We've all been trying to keep a track of each other.
She works at the Mug and Bops on Grand River. The burglar hit that business just last Wednesday, and now with the possible break in the case, Chapman is breathing a sigh of relief.
So I don't have to look over my shoulder every time somebody comes through the door.
In Meridian Township, Tiffany Teasley, News 10.